to Fred in Florida. Hello, Fred.
Hello, Eric. Hi, Jen.
Oh,
Hi, how are you? Yeah.
I'm good. I've never seen you before, Jen. It's a pleasure to meet you.
sorry.
Hi, thank you. I'm sorry. We had a side powwow. I'm sorry. Can you say that again?
I said, I've never seen you on the show before. It's nice to see you.
Thank you.
Well,
this is my first live show that I've done with the ACA. So
Yeah.
it's nothing that you've missed. Believe me.
But if you like Jen, you can find Jen on Godless Bitches 3.0 premiering after the Atheist Experience tonight.
Can I get that voice on a recording just to promote? Because that was perfect.
Okay.
Like a good promotion.
Right. So Fred, just so that Jen knows you,
Yes.
You've called in and you've said that the Bible has prophecies that have been fulfilled, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I called in about several different things.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It says in the notes that you want to talk about fulfilled prophecy.
Yeah. Well, what it is
That was not
is something that I believe I heard you say, Eric, and I was just wanted to clarify it because I think that you said that in the Bible where Jesus told his disciples that he would some of them would be there, see him in his glory, before he went to it, or see him in his kingdom before before they died. You said that was not fulfilled.
My understanding of it was that the prophesied end times in Revelation were going to come to pass before that generation passed.
Yeah, but when you read the Bible, but that is what you said. Okay,
that's my understanding of it. Please.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, no. Well, one of your things. What you told Jeff was what did I get right and what did I get wrong, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so this is something that I think that you just didn't get. Like you kind of didn't get it, and it's important that we know what the truth is, right? Or for me, biblical truth is important, because but if you look in the very next verses in Matthew 17. Matthew 17, 1 through 6, it talks about the transfiguration where they did see Jesus in his glorified body.
Okay.
I believe that's what it was speaking to about,
okay. The interesting thing about these is you have a competing interpretation. And really it's not my game to play. It's my game to sit and listen and find out whether or not I am justified in believing it. So I'm absolutely willing to drop the interpretation that I put forward because I don't believe it. I'll take your interpretation. That's fine. I'll meet you where you're at. The question is whether or not we're having a good conversation. So your interpretation of prophecy is that people were going to see Jesus, right? And you say that later on in the story they see Jesus. Cool. Now what? Are you justified in believing that God for that reason? Do you think that prophecies are a good way to tell? And how do you determine whether or not a prophecy is convincing? Those are good questions, aren't they? Jen has something to say.
Those are good. Oh, go ahead.
No. I was trying to relay a silent message, which I'm absolutely terrible about. I have no idea how to be silent. So.
Gotcha.
Okay, yeah.
Sorry. So going back to that, right, is fulfilled prophecy a good reason to believe? Well, I think we can start by saying that there are plenty of non-Christian, quote-unquote, prophecies that have been fulfilled, that people tout around. So leaving the ones that you're bringing up on the side for now, how do you determine that prophecies brought by other religions, that are claimed to come true, why are those not convincing for you? Okay,
well, the thing is I'm directly talking about something that you said, and that that I believe that it was wrong. And I'm saying, if we went through all the prophecies, we'd have to go through them and sit down and go through them and see what they say to really know, what they're all about. We're, the other Nostradamus or the Bible one. We'd have to sit down and look at them and take them for face value and see what they say and break them down. That's the only way to really go through it and do, just to say offhand, we'd have to really look at them.
Well, so I'm granting you investigation. I'm granting you a lot of that. So let me give you an example, right? You watch the show. I bring out the Book of Eric, right, as this kind of competing idea. So let's say in the Book of Eric, it says that Eric will rise from the dead, and all of his friends will see him. And then in the next chapter, we read about Eric's death and that he rose from the dead, and all of his friends saw him. Does that fulfilled prophecy convince you that I'm God?
Eric, do you think you're God?
No.
First of all, Eric, do you think you're God?
No. But I could be lying to you.
Okay.
I mean,
okay, we'll look at Eric. What I'm doing is you're saying that you wrote a book and you're claiming that you're God. Mm-hmm. I'm saying, do you think you're God?
Well, you're assuming that the writers of the Bible are as intellectually honest or as on. You don't even know who the authors of the Bible are. None of us do.
Right.
Some of them we can point back to, but not all of them, right? You have multiple books written by absolutely anonymous people. You're assuming their character is you're assuming that their character is spotless. The fact is, I could lie to you, and especially if I had good reason to lie to you, right? If I was motivated to lie to you because I had things to gain by doing so. And I mean, honestly, man, it just doesn't hold water when you look at something and
we all like to be right. And again, okay, you're saying it doesn't hold water, but again, I'm pointing to something where I'm saying you're wrong, and there's a reasonable explanation of why you didn't understand. Whatever. I mean, I'm not trying to say that you're wrong. You're wrong. I'm just saying that there is a reasonable explanation for this being fulfilled. And so I mean, for me, I would look at one error at a time. Okay, you think this is an error? Okay, let's look at it. Was it? Yes or no?
Right.
I mean,
so let's.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. So let's start at the very beginning. How do we verify that those prophecies actually were things that happened?
Okay. Well, obviously, you're not going to say that
Well, it's
was at the.
Well, yeah, I mean, saying it's in the book is not going to convince me. I'm sure you know that. So what is convincing? How have you come to the conclusion that what's written in that book actually happened? You don't even know the character of those people. Right. I don't understand how you're getting there.
Well, I know the character of the people. I mean, pretty much.
You know the characters?
You know the character of these people that are telling the story of the people that the miracles have happened.
These anonymous authors.
Yeah, the anonymous authors.
You have to let me finish.
If you say I have to understand that it's divinely inspired, I'm
Let me finish, Eric.
Okay, please.
Okay. They were fallen people.
Did I hear that right?
Yeah, fallen people, fallen world. It's unfalsifiable,
did that
man.
Laugh in my ear like that?
Sorry.
Okay.
I mean, we already went over this earlier.
Okay.
They're in need of a savior, just like me and you are.
Right. I'm right because I'm right because I'm right.
Right,
And if I'm wrong, that means I'm right.
Yeah. Even if I'm wrong, I'm right. It's just you choosing your free will to say that I'm wrong.
Yeah. I mean, we're going back to a gaslighting God. Could a gaslighting God exist? Maybe.
What a theme for today, hasn't it been?
Yeah. But I'm not convinced. I don't think you should be either.
No.
Well, okay, but what I'm saying is, and there's many things like, you go like the atheist websites have, and they're talking about the scriptures like, or where they're false and stuff, but they're not. And that's.
But what's
wait, let me finish. Let me finish.
Go ahead.
Sure.
It's important to get, to know what we got wrong and to know what we got right. And is there a reasonable thing for it, or do you just write it off because I don't like it? I say no. It goes both ways.
Well, and
it's like you're saying wrong.
Actually, no. Hold on. I did not author these atheist websites that you're referencing.
Okay, but
personally, I can tell you that
I know you didn't.
Well, yeah, and I can tell you. In my personal experience, I've had plenty of people, atheists, who say, hey, Eric, I can show that the Bible was false because here is this contradiction, and this contradiction, taken the way that I'm defining it, is not real. Well, you know what? That's great for anybody who believes exactly what you're saying. But, Fred, the more interesting conversation is when we listen to you and go from there, right?
Uh-huh.
And so if you want to talk about contradictions in the Bible, okay, we can talk about contradictions in the Bible, but if there's a tap dance that's going to go on there, fallen people, fallen world, what you did is said, I'm not interested in any conversation with you. But even if you weren't to have written me off completely by saying, well, I'm right because I was wrong, we're still going to have to sit down and talk about it. Mm. And I say we should. If you want to argue with atheists on the internet, I'm sure there are plenty who would be happy to argue with you.
There's whole websites of Bible contradictions and this and that. I'm sure you've seen them before.
Well, and they're actually helpful for people who believe those things, right? If I were a believer and I thought, hey, I have a literal interpretation of Genesis, and I were to learn about how you can track human history and find that there was never a time where there was just one man and one woman. Right. If you were to learn about how our world was instant, how mountains form, how our oceans became,
where the continents are the way that they are.
Yeah. Why the ocean has so much water in it and why it's salty. I mean, if we were to, investigate those things, then that is evidence against the claim that God created it in 6 literal days, right? It has its uses.
I know you got your tectonic plate theory. Yeah. You got your your flood theory. You got different you got different things, but the blood actually the Bible flood's not a theory. But it's a biblical,
It's a story.
We have different theories, and honestly, to go to say, 4 billion years ago, we don't know what happened 4 billion years ago.
We don't.
Fred, you just reminded me. I know this is off topic, but I have to say it because you brought up the flood story. So, have you heard about the Ark Park?
Yes, the Ark Park, the Ark Encounter in Kentucky, where they have rebuilt the Ark, and they
think that they believe that the Earth is 6,000 years old, and they have a museum where humans live alongside dinosaurs, as if the Flintstones was a documentary.
Correct. Yeah.
Do you believe that stuff? Before I go on, do you believe that stuff?
Are you a believer?
Do I believe in the young Earth? I am a Bible-believing Christian.
Okay, but are you a young Earth Bible-believing Christian?
I am a Bible-believing Christian, so yes, I believe that God made the
No. Okay. We're asking you.
He's saying it.
Okay.
Yes, you believe that the Earth was created in 6 days and is 6,000 years old.
And the 7th day, God rested. Yes.
Okay. So here's what I want you to do. I believe it's the 2nd or 3rd Saturday in July.
Usually the 2nd.
I think so. There's an annual protest that goes on at the Ark Encounter, right? Mm-hmm. You probably saw the news articles about it a couple of years back. They called it the Genocide and Incest Park.
I remember that one.
I've been invited to MC this upcoming year's.
Congratulations!
Right? I've been invited to MC this upcoming year's protest. If you can make it out to the area, I'd love to see you there. And for those of you who are watching, I'd love to see you there too. Yay.
When is it? I'll look up, find it.
Yeah,
I don't know if I can make it or not.
No worries. But that's definitely a battlefield that I would be happy to meet you on, sir.
Yeah. Well, if I can make it, I will. You know what? Yeah.
Oh, it's on the 11th, Saturday, the 11th of July.
Oh, they have the date. I'm sorry. I'm terrible at keeping up with things. Thank you.
The 11th of next month?
11th of July of this year. It will be July 11, 2020, that they'll be holding the protest again this year.
Yep. The only problem is it's in Kentucky, but you're from Florida.
And it's a drive through nothing whatsoever.
It's pretty nothing. Anyway, we're off topic. Fred, I hope that this conversation helped a little bit and helped kind of solidify why we're looking at it this way. Why?
I hope it helped you move closer to the truth.
Well, if you can show that it's true, I'm willing to listen. You just haven't
I'm thinking I showed something that you thought was wrong in the Bible that can be explained. Yeah.
Okay. I'm glad. I really do need to make a better habit of not making claims about the Bible, because I'm sure you understand that there are plenty of people who would look at something that you think is literal and call it allegorical, right? There are so many people who say, well, it's just a translation error, so it works itself out, and there's so much of that making...
That's why we have there's biblical doctrine that's been around for years. That's why when you go to a church, they have their statements of faith, so you know what they believe. And all these churches, they have what they believe. It's pretty concrete. It's not really that flexible.
Well, it's you got to look at it from our side, man.
What the church believes and what they teach. I'm
got to look at it.
There are people saying that they're Christians. I'm a Christian atheist. I've heard that before. Well, okay, where do you go with that?
In a totally different direction that we don't have enough time to follow, unfortunately. I'm not going to establish myself as a church. I'm just going to listen to people who want to talk about what they believe.
Exactly.
Good call, man.
Okay.
Thank you for calling.
Yeah.
It was nice talking to you.
Okay. You guys have a great night. Nice talking to you too. Bye-bye.
Bye. Sorry, just looking at the live chat. Just because somebody's wrong doesn't mean that I shouldn't hold myself to a higher standard. So just because he's wrong about prophecy, and we talked about it, doesn't mean that I shouldn't go, hey, you know what? To be a better interlocutor, to honestly assess things, I shouldn't be making truth claims about something that I don't think is true.
Exactly.
So moving on.
That's just integrity.